Hi guys, it's Martha and welcome back to my booktube. Today I thought I would just honestly rant about monthly TBRs and also about book reviews in general, but specifically using star ratings in book reviews. So, let's get into it. Currently it's my lunch break right now for school, so I thought that this would be kind of a good time to sit down and just chat with you guys. So I guess the biggest thing that I kind of wanted to talk about today was monthly TBRs and rating reviews. So I feel like as I've kind of immersed myself more in the Bookstagram community and the booktube community, I'm kind of like, I don't know, I feel like I've almost like put this pressure on myself to create like a monthly TBR. Like, these are the books that I will be reading this month, and that is it, or these books, and then I have to finish these books before I read anything else. And if you saw a couple videos ago, I did a video of me getting ready to go back to school where I also talked about the books that I was planning on reading this month. Spoiler alert, I'm halfway through one of them and I haven't read the rest, but I've read a bunch of other books. And I had this moment of like, so what am I gonna have to say when it's October 1st and I'm supposed to kind of talk about my wrap up and I haven't read any of the books? And you know, my mom was kind of like, I don't think you should do monthly TBRs anymore. And I was like, you know what, you're kind of right. And I think that doing a monthly TBR, for some people, I think it's a really productive thing. It's like, these are the books I'm gonna read this month, this is it, like I know what I'm doing, and it's like a set plan. And it kind of helps, like if you have a ton of books that you want to read and that you have to read, like dividing them up per month, this can be a really good thing. But I think for somebody like me, where I really choose what I want to read based off of how I'm feeling in that moment, like I had this moment a couple days ago where I was just really wanting something like super light, super fluffy, like just not anything that had a lot of substance to it. And so I picked up a book and I read it all in one day because I was like, this is what I needed. I wanted something light, and my TBR for this month was all nonfiction, kind of heavy nonfiction. And so I was like, I need something just super, like, just that will make me happy to read. And so I did that and I felt great about it. And then a couple days later I was like, but why did I read that when I could have been reading a book that was on my TBR? And so I think if you're ever like feeling like me, I guess this is me being like, you don't have to do a monthly TBR, because the truth of the matter is reading is supposed to be fun. And if you're forcing yourself to read books because you told people that you were going to read these books, like, that's not the point of reading. Reading is for you, it's not for other people. And then I guess kind of going off of that, we can go into kind of doing ratings and star ratings for reviews. I'm not on Goodreads personally. I don't like to track what I read that way, and I don't know, I've just never gotten into it. If you're on there, perfectly fine, whatever, but I'm personally not. And I do post book reviews on my Bookstagram account, which is @booksmarty if you don't already follow me, but I never do ratings. At first, when I first started my account, I used to rate the cover art and I used to rate the book overall. Then I had this moment of, that's not really an effective form of reviewing, at least for me personally, because it's such a personal thing. A book review is such a personal thing. Like, I've talked about this with some of my bookish friends as well. Like, I love this book because of these characters, and I love it because it talks about this, but then they could say, actually, that character is my least favorite. I hated their character arc, and that ruined the book for me. And so, looking at a review, and I think obviously you read reviews with that in mind, that it's that person's opinion and it's not a concrete thing, but you can't help but internalize a rating. So if you see somebody talk about a book and then they give it 2 stars, in your brain you're gonna be like, oh, 2 stars, I shouldn't read that. When in reality, you might read it and you might think that it's a 5-star book, you know? And I think that that's something that I've kind of been grappling with, and I've really been trying to not pay attention to star ratings, and I think that's why I don't use them, because it's such a personal thing for me. And I also think that kind of reading a book and then reading it for the point of saying, this book was 5 stars, this book was 2 stars, like, what was the point then? I don't know. I think that every book is 5 stars to somebody. You know, as much as I hate to say it, like, The Catcher in the Rye, to somebody that is their favorite book, and that is a 5-star book. And so for me to post a review saying I give this book 1 star, for them, they're going to look at that and they're going to be like, oh, I don't know if this is making literally any sense, but I just think it's something that I've noticed. And then there's also, you can kind of dive into like, what do the ratings mean? For some people, 3 stars is a good book. It's like a medium book. It's like this book is, it wasn't bad, it wasn't amazing. You know what I mean? For some people that's what a 3 is, but for some people a 3 is like, no, this book was bad. You know, but this book was bad. Then for some people a 3 is, this book was really good, because some people never give out 5-star ratings. And so for a 3 for them it's like good. Same, and then it does that for every number. So for some people a 4 is an amazing book because they rarely ever give out 5s. But for somebody like me, who I like to give out, if I was to use star ratings, I would give out a 5-star rating for so many books. A 4 is like average. And so going off of like, it's like, what do ratings, they're such like individual things that I almost find it like unnecessary to say this is, I don't know if this is making any sense. And I also think that as an author, I think that it would be really hard to see people being like, I only rate this book 3 stars. I only rate this book 2 stars. Because from just seeing an image of 3 emojis, 3-star emojis, that determines for some people whether or not they're going to read the book. And so that determines for you as an author whether or not people are going to read your work. You know what I mean? Which I just think is really unfortunate, and kind of a not that good of a thing. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. I think that doing reviews is a good thing because you want to know what people think of a book. But I think that, like, there's lines that can be drawn, I don't know. And then there's also, like, debates on, should you review a book if you don't like it? My answer to that is typically no. I think if you are going to review a book that you didn't like and you have these really valid points for why you didn't like it, you have to approach it from a mindset of, personally, I didn't like this book because of X, Y, and Z. Don't approach it as, this book is horrible, do not buy this book, do not read this book. Because I've seen that a lot recently, and it's just super discouraging to me to see people like, under no circumstances should you read this book. Because it's like, whoa, if it was upsetting to you, I'm sorry. And maybe it would be upsetting to me, but I feel like that's something that I want to figure out for myself. So if you don't like a book, sure, it's nice for me to maybe know that you don't like it, but I should be able to figure that out for myself. And I shouldn't have to, you know, that should not be dependent on what you thought, if that makes any sense at all. But yeah, that's kind of my ramblings for the day about reviews and about TBRs, and kind of how constricting TBRs can be, and how I'm kind of trying to not do that, because reading is for yourself. It's not for your followers or for your subscribers, or, you know, it's for you. So I think that's my tidbit of knowledge for the day. I have been making my way through Hood Feminism by Mickey Kendall. Super dense book, taking me a while. I read like 1 or 2 of the essays a day, and I've been taking notes on it in my bullet journal. So this is what I've got. This is what I've got so far. I just finished the essay, How to Write About Black Women. Finished that 2 days ago. I didn't read anything yesterday. So I'm almost halfway through the book. So I've got like my next 2 pages set up that I'm going to be writing on. And I'm very excited to finish it because it's an amazing book. Really recommend it. Yeah, that's where my head is at regarding books today. So I will see you guys the next time that I upload a video. Stay tuned if you like this video, or if you have any opinions on TBRs or ratings and you want to share them with me. I'm so open to hearing everybody's ideas. Leave a comment down below, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.